morning, everybody. Jason, Hollis Farms. Boy, thing don't want to focus this morning, does it? Focusing now, yeah. Camera trying to wake up this morning too. Anyway, we are headed down. I'm gonna turn y'all around real quick before I start talking. Oh, a lot of farming on this highway across here, and it's a lot of corn being planted this year, from what I'm seeing. Quite a few of these fields is in corn, but anyway, we are headed down to see how wet it is, and if the loggers, if it's not too wet, I'm sure they already started. I believe that's beans right there. I think there's a lot of beans. Well, there's a lot of planting. I think there was a lot of cotton last year. I can't remember year to year, but I know they rotate kind of back and forth. Seems like there's a big old field of corn right there. I'm almost positive that was cotton last year. Anyway, so we're gonna ease on down and see what the loggers got going on. I'm ready to do a little bush hogging, finish what we was doing on that power line, but I figure most of it's too wet. I'm not gonna try not to make any ruts where we work, and I know the loggers they're not gonna make any in the woods. We kind of stress that pretty hard. If they rut the road up just a little bit, that's gonna happen. But you sure don't want to make all these ruts in this where you're cutting this timber, because all the compaction, and it's just not good for the trees. This place that we're logging on now, boy, it's foggy today. There was one spot, it's been a long time ago, this stuff been clear cut and fixed, but I can remember when we first got the place, it was pretty short, and I was riding my mule through it, hunting, looking, whatever, my saddle mule, four-legged breathing mule, and it was just, I remember falling off in a rut walking through these short pines, and when they logged it, I can't believe they planted it back like that. It was just a mess. So, when it finally got big enough and we clear cut it, boy, it was lots of work went into that to get it back right. Ripped and bedded it and had just a lot of dozer work there. We're not gonna let them mess the woods up. We may let them mess a road up just a little bit every once in a while. We're not gonna mess it up in the woods. That compaction is just rough on the root system, and just not worth it to get it out when it's wet like that. So that's the biggest thing. I'm usually worried about the roads, some of them a little too much, but you know, after going back and grading and fixing some stuff I done, I'm letting them go just a little bit on ones that are pretty easy to grade up. So trying to be a little lenient on them so they can keep working, but I still gotta keep a tight look on them, because you gotta keep them reeled in tight. And you let them, anybody, you know, you let them go a little too far, I'm not gonna say take advantage, but they're gonna get it. So main thing, as long as we don't mess the woods up, but I'm not gonna tear the roads up too bad, because that's too much work for us to try to fix. But anyway, let's go down here and see what they got going on. I'll see it's fairly foggy. Some of these fields got planted a little late, you know, due to weather, whatnot. I don't know what they're gonna do right there. They had wheat there. Some of these, this particular place here is I don't know who's got it now, but it's a new farmer. He put in a couple of them big old pivot watering systems, and hey, sometimes he's a little late getting his stuff in. I guess I don't know what it is, not worried about it because he's got the water or what, but he got some stuff in the ground right there, it looks like. But let's see what we got going on there. Some of this stuff, when it comes up young, I'm no farmer, I think that's beans right there. Beans or cotton, I don't know. I don't pay that much attention to it. You can tell when it gets up a little higher. But alright, I see they got the loader gone. They'll come back in here when it dries a little bit with the dozer and straighten this up. Just a couple trees left there too. Hope I don't get stuck right here. I may end up going and getting the Ranger. Check on. We'll ride down this other road. See there. Still got a load or two left here. It's all pulpwood. A lot of times that mill where this pulpwood's going is slow. I don't know. It's just aggravating that they control this market. Ain't but one or two places for it to go, and a lot of times this pulpwood is the hardest thing to get rid of. We just kind of gotta take it day by day and do what we can. But road's hard. It dried a lot yesterday. I think we're gonna be all right. This is where a good road system comes in. It's usually good in the woods, like I said, but a lot of times these roads, but boy, I tell you what, it's gonna be dusty before it's over with today. Be a little bit soft where the gravel ends, but we're gonna be all right. Sometimes when they work back in here, and I know they come, and like we've had a bad water hole right here for several years, I don't mess with it knowing we're coming in here, because when they get done and slick everything off with the dozer, they'll have that done. A little sticky right here by the time they work this out and back drag and carry on a little bit. It's gonna be back nice. Gravel ended back there behind me a little piece. So it's holding up pretty doggone good. Boy, it's a good thing we had a fairly dry spring, because it ain't near as wet as it was this time last year. I showed y'all this little field here that we thought about loading in, but it looks like they changed their mind and found them a better spot out here, so that's fine. Got this looking pretty good right here. Come on. What are you doing, crazy? Alright, y'all, so the loggers have gotten a good start where they've moved to. Man, I'm gonna tell you, I really like this crew. I don't want to brag too much, but I really, so far, I like them. This guy that we're dealing with here has got 2 crews. And I think he's got 8 or 10, 12 trucks. But anyway, what he does, the other crew that he's got is not too far from here, and he kind of splits the trucks up between both crews as he's going. So they're hauling right now, since they had to kind of get started here, cutting some and processing, they're hauling some from the other place this morning, and then they'll start hauling here. They're doing a really good job, but I like the guys. I stopped and talked to them for a while. I like to get to know them, and boy, it don't take her but a minute to get soaking wet. But anyway, so I'm gonna let PJ run around a minute, and I'm gonna hop on the Ranger and see if it's gonna be dry enough anywhere to do a little bush hogging where I want the bush hog. But if not, we'll go back up there and check on the loggers, and then go back and do some stuff in Alabama. I don't want to make a mess on what I'm doing, because I don't want to have to fix it. We'll ride down the road here in a minute and kind of look around and see what things are going to be like today. Like a pretty good group of jakes. Maybe a longbeard or 2 in that right there. Alright, this is one spot. It's still too wet. It stopped right here the other day. It's too wet. I have to find somewhere else. That ain't gonna work. Might just have to wait a day or 2. Might come down here and cut this road here in a few minutes. We're gonna be doing some work down here before long. If it's not too wet right down in here, we may come down here and go ahead and cut this. It's still just a little bit damp down here. I'd rather have it another day drying. I don't want to make any ruts. No more than we have to. Alright, it is just a little too damp to do any of the bush hogging that I want to do. Just don't want to create any ruts, so I'll run up here and check on the loggers. Kind of see what they're doing right now before I leave. Go find something else to get into. I'm dragging them up here. I like these two guys right here. Talked to them pretty good while this morning. A little bit bright that way, ain't it? I might have to get on the other side of them. They're stacking it up now. Have to get a pretty good pile for as many trucks as they got though to take care of it. They'll knock that pile down when they get to rolling in. What's wrong with you, crazy? Stack of pulpwood right here. Tops mostly is what it is, top wood. Some good trees. He about stacked up as high as the loader over there. This guy right here is pretty good at what he does. A little bit of hardwood mixed in there every once in a while they're getting out. Not much. Got it saw in a bind with that limb. Didn't have to manually take care of this one. That'd be my luck right here, as good as I am with a chainsaw. They get her popped off there in a minute. Said they got 7 trucks coming in a little while, so that'll knock their pile down a little bit. Alright, so the loggers are doing good. It's just a little bit wet in our fields to be doing what I want to do. I just don't want to. They're too smooth. I just don't want to do any rutting if I can help it. Little updates on my hand and my leg situation. been on the antibiotics. I think this is gonna be the third day where my doctor thought I had tick fever, Rocky Mountain spotted fever or something. My right leg is almost back to normal. My arms are doing pretty good, and the only is my left leg, and it's kind of like it's easing down. It's kind of down below my knee now, so he may have been spot on. That's what it was. I went and got some stuff, or got Sissy to pick me up some stuff. I've used it a little bit before. Get it at Walmart. Kind of getting ready for next year, and I've sprayed my. Hang on a minute, let me let this truck come by. I'm still on one of these old country roads, but it's a little traffic. I got her to get me a bottle of this permethrin. It treats. This is for treating clothes and about anything. They got a picture of a 10 on here. It's good for a lot of insects and ticks and everything. I think this bottle here would treat like 5 sets of clothes, but I pick a lot of these things up in the afternoon around the house. I need to spray my whole yard around. I have done that before around the house, feeding the dogs and stuff, but I traded my boots that I slip on every day when I feed the dogs, and I am going to have to get in a habit of spraying all my clothes during turkey season, probably early bow season, and boy, I don't want to go through this again. And I think there's a lot of people that's having a lot worse than me. So it's always something new you got to do, which I think if you treat your clothes and all, you may not have to spray down quite as much every day, or use a thermocell or whatever quite as much. I don't know, we'll have to try it. But main thing's the ticks. But I think we headed in the right direction on that. That permethrin stuff, they say they don't want it on your skin. They say it'll burn, but always learning and doing new stuff. Surprising I hadn't had it before, because I've always been in the woods turkey hunting. In a few days when he's back in the office, I'm gonna go over here and we're gonna do my blood work anyway, and just kind of check everything out and make sure nothing else is going on. I ain't ready to go down yet. So anyway, update on the hands and legs. Alright y'all, I'm cheating just a little bit. It's kind of a late breakfast, early lunch. Taking cheese. So I made it back here. I'm going to unhook the super grader from the 5065 and hook the little cutter up to it so we can cut a little grass. Alright, had to hook the boat up real quick and get it out of the way where I can get to the cutter. We got to put that thing in the water. We got spider webs all over it. I'm gonna fit a crank. I ain't crunk it in a while. Must be in gear. There we go. Oh yeah. Ready for the water. Alright, got the Modern Ag Products cutter hooked up to the 5065. This has been a good little cutter. I like this cutter. I like keeping them inside too. Got a little grass on them, but it ain't rusty or nothing from the winter. It's been a nice little cutter for the 5065. Alright y'all, back on the 5065. Out here in the pasture with the mules and horses. There's a bunch of old dead stuff, kind of from winter time, grown up, whatever, kind of prevent some of this good grass from growing. So I'm gonna clip it, not just real tight, and then let this better grass start coming back up. Be plenty for them out here to eat, but it kind of looks a little raggedy too. Kind of clean it up a little bit. right, y'all, had a good day today. Didn't get to do a whole lot in Mississippi, a little wet, but the loggers are rolling. They are stacking it up. So came back here, got the cutter hooked up to the 5065, and I was planning on just cutting a little bit out there, and I got to rolling. It's 3 little pastures out there and ended up getting them all. They look just a little ragged right now, but they look a lot better than they will. Get that fresh grass coming back up through there to look good. But anyway, pretty good day all in all, and we have got ball practice here in just a little while, so got a few other little things to do, and then me and Cody got to get to ball practice. Appreciate y'all watching. Out of here.